January 2nd, 2025, 12:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Apple agreed to pay $95 million in cash to resolve a class action lawsuit that alleged the company obtained private communications and shared them with third parties without consent through Siri. The plaintiffs in the lawsuit alleged that Siri was activated unintentionally and went on to share confidential or private discussions overheard by the voice-driven virtual assistant with Apple. The proposed settlement requires Apple to address the alleged privacy violations by requiring the company to confirm it has permanently deleted individual Siri audio recordings obtained prior to October 2019, 6 months after it goes into effect. It also will require the iPhone maker to publish details explaining to users how they may opt in to a choice to improve Siri. Apple, which denied wrongdoing, didn't immediately respond to a request for comment on Thursday. The case was overseen by Judge Jeffrey White of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California. The case still requires final approval from the court. Apple has had dust-ups involving Siri in the past. The company in 2019 temporarily suspended the practice of using contractors to listen to and grade Siri voice recordings after British newspaper The Guardian found that Apple contractors regularly listened to customers' confidential information, such as medical information. Apple at the time said it would resume the practice in the fall after updating software and making a series of changes, including no longer retaining audio recordings by default. Siri was introduced on a prior generation iPhone in 2011. Years later, Apple made it possible to activate the technology by simply saying, "Hey Siri," to a range of devices. Write to Denny Jacob at denny.jacob@wsj.com. Investors rushing to capitalize on artificial intelligence have focused on the technology, the capabilities of new models, the potential of generative tools, and the scale of processing power to sustain it all. What too many ignore is the evolving legal structure surrounding the technology, which will ultimately shape the economics of AI. The core question is, who controls the value that AI produces? The answer depends on whether AI companies must compensate rights holders for using their data to train AI models, and whether AI creations can themselves enjoy copyright or patent protections. The current landscape of AI law is rife with uncertainty. The New York Times, Getty Images, and individual artists have challenged AI companies over their use of copyrighted material in training datasets. How these cases are decided will determine whether AI developers can harvest publicly available data or must license the content used to train their models. Should courts decide in favor of rights holders, AI companies will face increased costs that could reduce profit margins and put many current valuations into question. Investors shouldn't underestimate the risks. Equally significant are the questions surrounding intellectual property rights for AI-generated creations. Can a novel invented by AI be copyrighted? Can a discovery guided by an AI model be patented? Recent rulings have denied such protections, emphasizing that only human creators can claim IP rights under current laws. This creates ambiguity for companies using AI in creative or inventive processes. Without clarity on whether AI-generated works can be defended as proprietary, what those companies produce may lack the legal protection necessary to secure a competitive advantage, undermining a key element of investor confidence. Critics argue the legal framework will catch up with technology, and that lawmakers will adapt to accommodate AI's evolving role in society. They also claim the value of AI lies primarily in its functional capability, its ability to analyze, generate, and innovate, and that legal questions around copyrights and patents are a secondary concern. Those arguments underestimate the complexity and the slow-moving nature of legal systems, especially in areas involving fundamental shifts in technology and human rights. Media giants and global artists looking to protect their IP rights have deep pockets and a vested interest in ensuring they aren't left behind by AI's march. The results of these disputes will shape AI's economic potential, from cost models to go-to-market strategies. Investors can't afford to dismiss these risks as merely bureaucratic obstacles that will be sorted out eventually. A historical analogy offers a stark warning. In the 1990s, the music encoded on compact discs wasn't encrypted, leading to a piracy crisis in the music industry. The movie industry learned from those mistakes and pursued a strategy to protect its IP that was primarily legal rather than purely technological. The Motion Picture Association of America pushed for a provision in the Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 1998 that made it unlawful for hardware or software developers to circumvent copyright protection systems. This legal threat created far more protection from piracy for owners of movie rights than technological innovation alone could have provided. AI investors take note. Technological strength alone doesn't suffice when the regulatory and legal environment is left unattended. For investors paying attention to the legal battles around AI, opportunities will abound. If the New York Times and Getty Images win their copyright infringement lawsuits, AI companies will be required to pay for access to training data. Companies with large libraries of hard-to-obtain data and content, such as high-definition video, medical information, financial and legal datasets, and geospatial information, could see significant increases in the value of their assets. Some may become gatekeepers in the future AI ecosystem. Entrepreneurs and investors are already buying up licensing rights to training data and content, positioning themselves to profit from a potential surge in demand. The excitement surrounding AI is understandable, but investors must pay close attention to how courts rule on cases involving copyright infringement in training data and to legislative developments around AI-created intellectual property. These decisions will ultimately determine who profits and who loses in the AI age. Mr. Harlan is founder and managing partner of Harlan Capital Partners.
Microsoft is forcing its AI assistant on people and making them pay. The tech company has made Copilot part of its 365 subscription service in several markets and raised prices. Microsoft is trying a new approach to build excitement for its artificial intelligence assistant Copilot. Give it to customers whether they want it or not. The tech company recently added Copilot to its consumer subscription service for software including Word, Excel, and PowerPoint in Australia and several Southeast Asian countries. Along with the AI feature, it raised prices for everyone who uses the service called Microsoft 365. In those countries, what about people who don't want to pay for an AI assistant to spruce up their documents and summarize emails? They are out of luck. Alistair Fleming uses the word to write scripts for his YouTube channel about 1990s Japanese wrestling. The Australian noticed that every time he finished a line, Copilot's rainbow logo would pop up on screen and ask if it could help with his writing. It was very neat to be used, and this was irritating to me as a user, Fleming said. Fleming also noticed his monthly bill for 365 increased 16 Australian dollars from 11 US dollars. Some users said on social media that Copilot pop-ups reminded them of Clippy, Microsoft's widely derided office helper from the late 1990s that would frequently offer unsocialized help. A Microsoft spokesman wouldn't comment on the strategy behind forced addition of Copilot in certain regions and whether the company plans a similar approach in other markets. The change demonstrates the lengths to which Microsoft is going to try to profit from its huge investment in AI. Copilot, which is built with the technology from OpenAI, is a key part of Chief Executive Satya Nadella's plans to keep expanding Microsoft software business for consumer and corporate customers. Microsoft is OpenAI's biggest investor, having plowed close to $14 billion into the ChatGPT maker, and Microsoft has been trying since early 2023 to use generative AI to gain ground in the market for consumer apps, where it has long struggled. It first integrated to the tech into Bing search engine as a chat tool, but failed to gain much ground against Google. It later launched Copilot, a chatbot and content generator that integrate with the 365 software to help write emails, summarize meetings, and create PowerPoint slides. The premium consumer version of Copilot launched in January at the price of $20 amount in the US, which is on top the roughly $7 monthly fee for an individual subscription to 365. Like other tech companies playing catch-up in the AI market, Copilot struggled against OpenAI's dominant ChatGPT. The Copilot chatbot app was downloaded 37 million times from May 2023 through the mid-December, compared with the 433 million downloads for ChatGPT, according to the Sensor Tower data. Microsoft is also pushing Copilot to its enterprise software customers at a price of $30 a person. Business clients are biggest part of Microsoft's software business. Businesses have been mixed on Copilot's usefulness and have questioned whether the AI tools outputs accurate, if it protects their private data, and if it's help enough to justify the cost. The Microsoft spokesman didn't respond to requests for comment on corporate customers' satisfaction with Copilot. The company has said its AI protects user data and meets privacy standards across multiple regions. Microsoft hasn't released sales figures for Copilot, but recently said at a conference that nearly 70% of Fortune 500 companies use the AI assistant. It also recently said total AI revenue will soon surpass $10 billion on an annualized basis. That figure encompasses all its AI services, including cloud computing for other developers. The company is facing pressure from rival enterprise software companies that have released their own AI-infused products, including Salesforce, as well as AI developers moving into the corporate sales. One of the most significant is OpenAI. Jerry Sparato, who heads marketing for Microsoft's workplace AI efforts, has told employees that ChatGPT Enterprise is Copilot's biggest competitor, according to the person familiar with the matter. Inside the company, Copilot is viewed as step one of its AI strategy. The next wave will center on agents, automated tools that can handle more complex tasks such as customer service, interactions, or booking travel. Selling customers on agents will be easier if they are already satisfied users of Copilot. In Australia, adding Copilot to 365 for individuals prompted some blowback on social media. Fleming looked into removing the AI feature from the software, but found it wasn't feasible. Instead, he canceled his subscription. He uses Google Docs now.